when you're driving, and little Johnny decides to jump out in front of your high-performance automobile, chasing after his soccer ball, as depicted in the image, the car will stop itself because it deems that necessary, and I actually don't even think you could turn that off. Golly, I'll be darned. I have never reviewed a car this nice in my life. I mean, I've only reviewed, like, a car. But, like, anyway. This is the 2019 BMW X5 40i with an M Sport package. And I gotta tell you, it's a pretty gorgeous car. Why is it doing that? Not only is it the nicest car I've ever reviewed, it's the smartest car I've ever reviewed, because if I walk away, it locks. I didn't touch a thing. If I get close, you see I'm not touching anything. Anyway, yeah, so it's pretty slick. All right, so let's start with this review, okay? Right off. These things are about as aggressive as a snake in a tree, okay? They just go straight down, 90-degree angle. You got the fog lights tucked in there, and so it looks like it might actually cut you. I don't know. Who knows? Next up, these headlights. Now, every other BMW I've seen that we've owned has had halogen lights, right? Nothing but LEDs here, bro. You got LEDs for days, dude. Not only that, but it looks like a very nice watch, these headlights. Anyway, on to the next thing. These M Sport touches on this car make the car, because base model ones are ugly. That's what people take to soccer practice. These ones, what I'm guessing, 19-inch wheels right here. Big old wheels. You got fake vents. You got the M Sport badges. Oh, the whole nine. It's so sick. Another thing to mention is this grille that automatically opens and closes like the thing of Jaws that this car is, right? So when it's too hot, like when we were racing things at the beach, these things open when the car gets too hot, but when it stays closed, helps the aerodynamics, the airflow of the car, and you gain maximum 500 mile an hour speeds right there. Okay. Another thing to mention are these lines, okay? These lines, like I mentioned on the outside. Or did I mention them? I'm not even sure if I mentioned them on the outside. But there are lines, okay? This car is an obsession with lines. Okay, look. Okay. Accent lights on the doors. The ambient lights on the doors. The ambient lights on the dashboard. Lines, okay? There's, if you open the doors, like I just did, the car projects these puddle lamps in the shape of lines on your on the floor, as well as the BMW badge, which is cool, but lines, you know. The spotlights above the map lights. There we go, the map lights. Lines, I'm telling you, they're everywhere. Next thing, you put it in the sport mode, right? You put it in sport mode. The screen does a sick thing where it shows sport. But another thing is that the gauges say they get a little more cool looking. But the coolest part are the M Sport stripes down on the bottom left. There's a lot of little M Sport touch. I'm not sure if it's just because this car is a M Sport packaged car, but it does have those here. It has these M Sport stripes on the key. So that's how you know you're made of raw speed. There's the door sills. They don't say BMW because that's boring. They say M Sport. That's sick. Bunch of different stuff like that. Another thing to mention are the ambient lights, okay? This car has enough ambient lights to light up a small high school, all right? There are lights on the dash, on the door, in the door storage, in the upper door storage, in the door handles. That goes for all doors. Down the center console. They're just everywhere. They're under the seats. They're behind the driver and passenger seat. Okay, one thing to mention is these orange lights behind all the buttons, okay? Fair. Every car has that. Like the AC controls, the radio controls, right? But the thing is, they are everywhere. And they managed to put these little tiny lights everywhere in this car. They're on the steering wheel buttons, which is awesome. They're on the shifter. They're all over the center stack here with the dial that controls the screen and everything, with the iDrive screen. That's cool. But the craziest part to me was the back. There are these little tiny lights on the right and left side of the back seats. And the buttons that control those lights back there, not only do they have lines on them, by the way, but those buttons glow, which was just bizarre to me. So yeah, that's that detail. I have some people looking at me weird because what I'm using for a tripod is an iPad on an ironing board leaning up against a paint can. That's that rig right there. Those people were looking at me like some sort of crackhead. Okay, so what you're probably noticing right away is those lights I was telling you about. I'm telling you, they're everywhere in this car. Anyway, I'm going to climb in. The back seat, if you're caring about leg room and you're buying an M Sport version, screw you, go buy an Audi. Okay, another thing that carries over into the back seats is the insane amount of ambient lighting. And, surprisingly, those M Sport door sill things that glow, which is nuts. Yet again, like I said, those doors are just chocked full of ambient lights, and on the back of the driver and passenger seat, which looks slick at night, might I add. And these bright ones down here are just because the door is open, and I'm filming through the door right now. But if the doors were closed, then those would also be ambient lights. Another thing to mention is the AC controls back here. I made a mistake turning that on. Oh, no. Right. My bad. I had to shut that back off. Okay. But there is a screen back here for the AC controls. They're more normal today. Like kind of unheard of, you know. That's a very luxurious touch. You got dual zone climate controls back here, man. It's fairly luxurious, you know. You got these little sliding doors with pieces of metal in them and a USB port. I think that's for tablet mounts. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's what it's for. You got a fairly comfy armrest back here, too. And you also got these spotlights, which have the lines on them, like I mentioned. Pretty nice place to be. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not ask, because I do not care. Okay. Now, I am in the car, and it brings the seats to me. That's the first thing, as you can see on the screen, which I'm going to give you a tour of now. Welcome, Angela. Last time I checked, my name isn't Angela, because that is my mom's name. This is her key, you know, and apparently the keys are profiles now. So when you make a profile, it sets the ambient light color, it sets the position of the seats, and just a bunch of different things to personalize the experience for you, which is what the German luxury experience is all about. Okay, so let's back out of that. Let's go home. This is your home, okay? It's pretty slick. You got your media, your comms, your nav, your car, and your apps. So, media, you know, you got Spotify, you got Sirius XM, you got radio, you got Bluetooth, you got USB, you got screen mirroring, apparently, which I didn't even know. Let's go to car, because that's amusing. Okay, car. So, First things first, driving information. This stuck out to me immediately. Because you have sport displays, it shows everything that you need to know to get up to 500 miles an hour, like this car can. You got your G-force meter. You got your turbo pressure, your horsepower, your pound-feet, your oil temperature. It's all slick. And by the way, if you have the radio blasting, check it. Man. Okay, it's not working. It has gesture control. Anyway. Okay, apps. This is pretty slick. Okay, so you got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Okay, let's go to the installed apps. Okay. Weather. This thing has weather. Okay? So you're flying down the road at, you're 500 miles an hour like you do. Oh my gosh, it's raining on Wednesday. No way. Cracked. But turns out I didn't ask. Next. Lap timer. No way. Okay, so it tells you right away, hey, this might not be it basically told you that they're not liable if you get jailed or dead. Okay, that's basically what it just told you. It records lap times. I mean, it's as simple as that, okay? So, I mean, that's pretty slick. I mean, I can't use that right now. I'm not moving this car. It's staying right here. Uneven road surface. I have no idea what this is. Oh. Okay, so it tells you about uneven road surfaces. These aren't really apps. They should just put these in settings. And that's... Okay, let's look at climate control rules, because, I mean, climate control does rule, It's pretty sick. Okay, so this. My mom has it set, so when it's below 53 degrees, it turns on the heated steering wheel. Also, when it's below 53 degrees, it turns on level 2 seat heating. So, I mean, that's pretty sick, Just so much stuff you can do with this. Carrying car, I mean, yeah, you have to actually have the car on for that. Anyway, here is the next part, which is one of my favorite parts about this car. Drive modes. So as you see, we're in comfort right now. The gauges look mildly boring, and that screen's mildly boring, and the car will do mildly boring things. Let's put in sport. We got red, all right? That's pretty sick. So everything goes red, the gauges go red, the gauges go more aggressive, and it has that M Sport stripe in the gauges when you turn on sport mode. That's pretty slick. Okay, next thing. Eco Pro, the complete opposite. If you want to save gas in your twin-turbo, 6-cylinder, 500,000 horsepower car, you can do that. It turns everything blue. I mean, which is kind of a vibe, to be honest. I'll just leave it on sport mode the rest of the thing because it's a vibe. Okay. One more thing I want to show is the... Yeah, it's in car. Never mind. Okay, so you have driver assistance, all this stuff. Interior lighting. Here we go. You could set the colors of the different ambient lights. Okay? You could do blue. And then all the lights in here just went to blue. That's pretty sick. You could do green. So whoever chooses green is kind of a cursed individual, I'm not going to lie. Purple. That's kind of a vibe, Reminds me of like a rooftop hot tub of some sort. Orange. That's standard. I mean, all the buttons in this car are orange. And bronze, which is just a lighter orange. So, but my mom likes it on white, so I'm going to leave it on white for her. I don't want to jack up all her settings. And, yeah, I was going to go through, what's one more thing? Oh, yeah, you could change to what the key does. That's pretty slick. Displays. Heads-up display, which they do not have turned on. Yeah, it's there, man. Yeah, it's there. Yeah. Yeah, that's sick. Actually, I didn't know this car had that. I could actually see it right in front of me, and it's big too. It's not showing the brightness here. What is going on? All right, that's enough. I'm like jacking up all of our settings here doing this. Okay, let's go back. Okay, I remember what I was going to show. Okay. This menu. This is what matters to all those boring people who take their kids to soccer practice, okay? These safety features. Now, I'm not going to say they're the worst because in some scenarios they can save lives, okay? But look, let's look through the settings here. Forward collision mitigation. Okay, so basically, when you're driving and little Johnny decides to jump out in front of your high-performance automobile, chasing after his soccer ball, as depicted in the image, the car will stop itself because it deems that necessary, and I actually don't even think you could turn that off because, you know, the car doesn't want you killing people. Lane departure warning. You could turn that off. My mom has it on, just in case, you know. So so if the car is moving out of the lane or something, the car will catch it and move itself back into the lane. And steering intervention too, so it will literally move the wheel back into. I mean, it's no Tesla, but I hate Teslas, so I mean, it's pretty sick to me, you know. Active blind spot detection, you know, I mean, pretty basic. It has a little triangle in the mirrors that basically warn you when a car is there and it's in your blind spot, you know. Other than that, that's pretty much the screen. It does pretty sick things, you know. I mean, way better than older BMW. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. The iPad ran out of storage space, but we've got plenty of footage here today. I can't actually drive it because the car is still pretty much brand new, and you know, they're weird about people driving it, and I don't blame them. So anyway, that was a tour of this car. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.